Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the internet and various information technology infrastructures in the perspective of e-commerce environment. So let's proceed. First we'll be discussing about what is internet. So the internet is basically a network of networks through which you can share the information, you can share the resources with the other users sitting at different geographic locations. So it is a worldwide network which provides connectivity to different resources over the web to the people or group of people. So first we are discussing about how do we get access to the internet. So there are various types to get the access to internet, and these are the first one is a dial-up connection. डायल कनेक्शन इज ए टाइप ऑफ कनेक्शन जिसके अंदर आप क्या करते हैं, हर बार जब भी आपको कनेक्ट करना है आपको एक नंबर डायल करना पड़ेगा. व्हेन यू डायल द नंबर you will get connected to the internet. When you are not in use, you can disconnect the internet connection. So this is a temporary, that means need based internet access provide. That means जब आपको जरूरत है then you can have access to internet, and जब आपको जरूरत नहीं है तो you can uh, disconnect the internet connection so that your resources are saved. Then comes DSL connection, digital subscriber link connection. It is a kind of broadband connection uh, that is given with the your landline phone connectivity, to which a separate modem is attached, and that to that modem your system gets connected and you will receive the continuous seamless internet connectivity throughout 24/7. It is a always connected service and has a faster speed of connectivity as compared to dial-up connection. Then comes cable TV connection. Cable TV connection is uh, an internet connection that is given along with the uh, TV connection of your home. That means you watch various TV channels over the TV using the cable connection, and through that cable connection only, the cable provider give you a separate modem for internet connectivity, and to which your system can get connected to internet. But because it is an open network accessible to all, so security is very less in cable TV connection. Then comes Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a wireless fidelity network which provides wireless connectivity to different devices within the range of a specific wireless router. The devices which are in the range of the router can have access to internet through the wireless mode. Then comes satellite. Satellite is basically used for providing internet connectivity specifically to remote locations where the cable connectivity cannot be provided, or the where, for example, in mountain here areas, or such a hilly areas where the other connectivity modes are not feasible. For that we use satellite communication, or specifically if we are connecting over the different largely separated geographical locations. For example, if you are sitting in India, you want to connect to a person sitting in America, so you have to use the satellite connection for that. In this, there is a base station from which the signal is delivered to a particular satellite in the orbit, and from that satellite, the signal is being transmitted to the destination site. Then comes cellular. Cellular network is internet connectivity mode that is connected through your mobile phone connectivity. You are using mobile phones, and through that mobile network, you are having the access to the internet connection. This is a general packet service that is you receive through your mobile network that you specifically use for voice and messaging, but you can also use that network for internet connectivity also. and that too with the help of pre-registration and having some particular package to be purchased from the ISP. After that you can have access to the internet connectivity through your mobile phone itself. Then comes choosing an ISP. ISP is the internet service provider which provides a facility of internet to the user. For example, Airtel, Idea, BSNL, etc. These are various vendors that provide the internet connectivity and are known as ISP, internet service providers. So, what are the various factors you choose? What are the various factors you consider while choosing an ISP? The first one is price. Price must be optimal. Then technical support, who is providing the better technical support? Reliability, how much reliable the connection is. Then performance, what is the internet connectivity speed, what is the uploading speed, what is the downloading speed, whether there are fluctuations in between the connection, everything you will monitor. Then storage space, is the ISP providing a storage cloud storage space for the user to store their data information. Email, whether the ISP is providing email facility. Whether tracking, whether you can track your statistics of usage of data in the particular ISP's connection. Whether the bandwidth, what bandwidth is ISP providing to you. Higher bandwidth means higher speed of connectivity. Then website, whether if you want to have your own website at a later stage, so the whether the ISP provides support for holding the ISP or managing it uh, at any moment of time. So is that support provided by the ISP? Need of usage, how much need do you have? Depending upon your need, you will be choosing the particular ISP. Also you will consider the other extra services like rating of the ISP की rating कितनी market के अंदर. Rating is the um, you can say judgment or the uh, of the different users or a community of users who judge a particular service on the basis of the usage or their past experience. So the rating, higher rating means higher better services are provided by the ASP. Also you will check for the recent trends like brand, what brand is the you are connecting to, or the business services, what are the different services that are provided by the ESP. And what mainly the focus should be on the customer. The organization or the ISP should be customer focused, not on the business focused. If a business focused, though, he will think about his benefit only. But if the customer focused ISP is there, so he will be more focused and more sensitive to the customer engagement. Then online marketing, if you are running a business and you want to marketing for your business, then whether the ISP provides the own marketing services also to the customer or not. So these are the various factors and services that you will have in consideration while choosing for an ISP service provider. These are the different ISPs in India: the Airtel, Aircel, Vodafone, Reliance, Idea, Tata, BSNL, MTNL, Passmat, AT&T, and so many more are there to choose from. This is the internet architecture where different end users are these are the systems where particular user is sitting, and the system is connected to the gateway. Gateway provides an connectivity to the internet with your local system, and then the communication is transported over the internet. This is a cloud like structure that is shown. This is a internet actually, in which various connectivity in between devices are there, like routers, gateways, switches, which provides smooth and effective connectivity between the two communicating users or devices. So the end host uses the gateway to transport the messages or information to the different users. Then a relay, these are the different routers that are used to uh, transfer the data from one router to another router so as to reach to the destination. That means they are defining a path from the sender to the receiver, and in the same way the end host will be receiving the message through the gateway, and then actual message will be obtained by the user. So the main thing to be considered in internet architecture is that the data that is actually transmitted to the user is in form of the packets. That means small packets are generated for the large data set, and those packets are transmitted over the network so as to accommodate them on the bandwidth of the network. If the bandwidth is high, the packet size can be large, but if the bandwidth is low, then the packets will be of very small size, and so as to accommodate on the network. Then comes internet infrastructure. What are the different resources or the modules that are used in the internet services? The first one is data center, to hold the data for a particular organization or the web resource. Then network connectivity should be there. For that, cables are used, modems are used, and if it is wireless, then the different waves for wireless connectivity like radio waves, infrared waves, microwaves are used. Then satellite communication is also used for connectivity. After that, computer equipment, definitely you will be requiring a computer to use, then storage devices to hold the data for permanent access. Then server applications, software programs that can satisfy the clients of your particular business, so that whenever any request or query arises from the client side, the server can satisfy the client requirements. Then we're discussing about the network and nodes. In that, first thing that comes is the internet addressing. When you are connected to network, then you must be identified. The particular node that is connecting to the internet must be identified, and for the identification, a unique address is required for each and every web resource over the network. So in that, first one is the IP address. IP address is the unique address to identify the resources over the web. It can be static IP, that means every time you connect, the address will be same, or it can be dynamic IP. That means every time you connect to internet, the IP, the address will be different. Then there are two versions of the internet protocol. First one is IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4, that is of 32 bits, which is currently being used. And then next one proposed is IPv6 version 6, which is 128 bits. Because as the number of users are growing, so we need to have more addresses, so that to accommodate the new coming users in the internet community. Then comes domain name system. Domain name system is a software program or a module which is used to convert your IP addresses into a name-based addresses that can be easily or effectively used by the user. For example, google.com. It is a domain name that we are using for our easiness, but the system doesn't understand the domain name. It understands the IP address, the numeric IP address, 32-bit IP address. So, domain name system provides mapping between the domain names that are used by the users for their effectiveness and efficiency or easiness, and IP addresses that are actually used by the system. Then comes data warehouse. Data warehouse is the centralized storage facility which is used to hold the data for a particular business organization. Then supply chain management is a software module which is used to manage the resources for a business. CRM is the customer relationship management, which is a module to manage the relationship with the customers for the business. Then ERP we have recently discussed is the enterprise resource planning to automate and manage the services and resources over the web. Then comes addressing scheme. The IP address is divided actually in five classes: uh, class A, class B, class C, class D, and class E. In that, there are two categories are there. First one is network, and second one is host. So in class A, there are less number of networks and more number of hosts. Then at that time, because the number of users is growing, so in that a single network number of hosts is more, which is particularly not required by any organization. So we proceed to class B, जिसके अंदर नेटवर्क्स को हमने बढ़ा दिया जिससे ज़्यादा ज़्यादा नेटवर्क हम प्रोवाइड कर सकें, और उसके अंदर होस्ट को क्या कर दिया, कम कर दिया, बिकॉज एक पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस के अंदर इतने ज़्यादा होस्ट की ज़रूरत नहीं होती। तो लेकिन फिर भी क्या होता है, नंबर ऑफ होस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा थे क्लास बी के अंदर भी, तो क्लास सी को डिजाइन किया जिसके अंदर नेटवर्क्स को और ज़्यादा एक्सपेंड कर दिया 3 बाइट्स के अंदर, और होस्ट को सिर्फ 1 बाइट कर दिया, यानी कि 255 मैक्सिमम हम होस्ट रख सकते हैं एक नेटवर्क के अंदर इन क्लास सी। Then class D is used for multicast addresses and class E is reserved for future use. Then the range of addresses defined for particular class is: class A has the range of addresses from 0 to 127. Then class B has 128 to 191. Then class C has 192 to 223. Then class D has 224 to 239. And class E, that is reserved for future use, is from 240 to 255. And the key components of a network we are discussing about. The first one is the backbone, that is the central network to which all the small networks are connected over the globe, you can say. Repeaters, which are used to repeat the signals after a certain period of after a certain distance, so that the network does not lose the signal. That means the data must not be lost within the network. For that we use repeaters. Then comes routers. Routers are the devices, intermediate devices, which are used to route your message from the sender to the receiver. Bridges, which are used to connect to different kind of networks. Gateways are also used to connect the different kind of networks with different क्या कहते हैं, different topologies, that means physical arrangement, different protocols that are used by the networks. Then comes network topology. Network topology is the physical arrangement of devices in a particular network. So bus, there are various topologies used. Bus topology, then in which a bus-like structure is there. Ring topology, in which the devices are connected in a ring-like structure, circular ring. Then a star-like structure in which a central node is there and all the devices are connected to the central node. Then tree-like structure in which the parent node is there and to which the different other child devices are connected. Then the mesh topology is that kind of physical arrangement in which all the devices are connected to each other in the network. Then OSI reference model and TCP/IP model. This is the protocol suite that is used by the particular network to effectively work from for the particular communication process. That means it is a protocol suite which governs some rules and regulations for the communication over the network to be performed. So if first we talk about the OSI reference model, so it is a 7-layer model in which first one is physical, then data link layer, then network layer, then transport layer, then session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. These layers perform different functions for the user. On the user is sitting at the application layer where it uses various services and interfaces to interact with the system and do various activities. So application layer provides the services that are used with the end user applications. For example, SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. Presentation layer, it formats the data so that it can be viewed by the user. Also it provides encryption and decryption also. Compression facilities also in there. So, for example, JPG, GIF, HTTPS, SSL, and TLS. Then comes session layer, which establishes a connection between the two hosts. That means whenever a communication is to be performed, first connection is established, then communication, and then connection is released. For example, net BIOS PPTP. Then comes transport layer, which is responsible for the transport protocol and error handling. That means it divides the data in form of packets so that the data can be transmitted over the web. For example, TCP, UDP. Then comes network layer, which reads the IP address from the packets and then establishes a network connection between the sender and the receiver. In this, the devices use the routers, layer 3 switches, etc. Data link layer, it reads the MAC address, the physical address of the system from the data packet and to be transported to the right destination that is specified in the data. In this, for example, switches are used. Physical layer, which actually sends the data onto the physical wire. That means it converts the data into the electrical signals and then transmit to the receiving end. For example, hubs and IC cables, etc., are used at the physical layer. So this is the OSI reference model, and at the same, this was the process done at the sender end, and a reverse process is uh, performed at the receiving end. That means first data goes to physical layer, then data link layer, then network transport, session, presentation, and application layer. After that, the data is obtained by the user. Then comes TCP/IP model, which is the more simplified and enhanced model based on the OSI reference model, and this is the model in which the three layers of OSI reference model, that is application layer, presentation layer, and session layers, are combined into a single uh, layer that is called application layer. The rest of the functioning and the processes are same in the TCP/IP model. So this is all about the uh, internet and IT infrastructure that is being used or that we can utilize for the various e-commerce applications and services that you want to provide for a particular business organization. So thank you very much for this. We will be discussing new topics at the later videos.